God's word, the laws of the Lord are true, each one is fair. They are more desirable than gold, even the finest gold. They are sweeter than honey, even honey dripping from the comb. Here the psalmist is saying that God's word is more desirable than all the gold, the finest gold in the world. You know, I think whenever he's talking about gold, he's talking about probably material things, wealth. This challenged me. Is God's word more desirable to me than the things of this world? Or do other things come in place of God's word sometimes? Does maybe making money, does maybe getting a bigger car or a bigger holiday? You know, I'm not saying those things are wrong, but they're only wrong if they come in place of God in our lives. What's number one? Is it gold in our lives, or is it God? Is knowing God's word number one in our lives? Because it needs to be, it has to be. Because that's where it all starts, having God first place. You know, Jesus said himself in Matthew 6, verse 19, he said, "Do not store up treasures here on earth, where moths eat them and rust destroys them, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up treasures in heaven, where moth and rust cannot destroy, and thieves do not break in and steal. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will be also." May our heart's desires be to know God and know his word, to know more about him and have him number one above all else. On average, we make about 30,000 decisions every day. That's a lot of decisions to make. And as well as that, our minds take in approximately 74 gigabits of information in one day. Put it into context, that's about the same data as 16 movies. That's a lot of information coming into our lives every day. A lot of decisions we have to make. You know, 50 years ago, it's different now, because 50 years ago, a highly educated person might have consumed 74 gigabits of information in their entire lifetime. That would have been maybe primarily through reading books or through oral stories. But it's a lot different now. We're getting a lot more information coming at us every day through social media, through news reports, through all different avenues. And that's why we need to have God's word. That's why we need to know God's truth in every situation, every circumstance in our life. It needs to be center place in our hearts, so we know how to respond to those things that come to us every day. There's a lot of influencers on social media as well nowadays. A lot of people who try to influence other people in their decisions, in their life's decisions. And I wonder, am I or are you influenced by what other people say? Or are we influenced by what God says in his word?